Hi everyone, welcome to the Eternal Quest Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. I really appreciate your presence here on my channel. For those of you that have subscribed to my channel, welcome back and thank you so much for your viewership. So as you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be asking spirit advice for your situation and what that situation is and in what context to take and apply those messages. That is going to be wide open, and we are going to let whatever messages come through me, of course, and take those messages and apply it to the area of life that you are currently somewhat struggling with or really struggling with. So yeah, that's the intention, that's the goal in mind. Just a quick announcement before that: all my private readings, one-on-one readings, are pay what you can. I'm doing this pay what you can thing with certain, like there's a thought process behind it, and it's with a certain goal and a certain aim that I kind of have in mind, and it's just something that I'm trying out for a while. So as of the date that this video is posted, the readings would be pay what you can. But if you're finding this video at a later date, that might have changed, may not have changed. All the information to book a private reading with me is in the description box below. So please take a look. And yeah, with that said, let's go into the pile selection. So for pile 1, I have this beautiful piece of labradorite crystal. Personally, I love labradorite because it has like a blue light. There you go. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, the blue light, and it almost looks like there's a blue, there's a rainbow trapped inside this crystal. So yeah, first one is the labradorite with the Wild Wolf tarot. The second one is this piece of amethyst crystal with the Crystal Visions tarot. And the third option, or pile 3, is this desert rose crystal with the silver era tarot. So there you go. There you have your 3 piles to choose from. And as usual, I would say go with your first instinct, the first intuitive hit that you get towards a pile. Trust and know that that will be your reading. And yeah, I'll have the timestamps in the description box below, so you can click on it and it will take you to your reading. See you there. Hello pile 1. So for those of you that resonated with this beautiful piece of labradorite crystal and the Wild Wolf tarot, this is your reading. So I'm going to start with the tarot cards first, and then we are going to go into oracle messages to get some more insight or advice. Depends on what comes through. It's really hard to say, you know, what kind of messages, as in what context. I draw the cards with one intention. I'm going to try this riffle shuffle. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I practiced some. Anyway, so as I was saying, sometimes I draw the cards with one intention, and spirit has its own intention and messages, and that is usually what comes through. Okay, I give up. I can't do that yet. I really admire, you know, other readers and just people in general who can really shuffle the cards, give it a good riffle shuffle, I think it's called. But unfortunately, I can't as yet. Okay, so a little bit about this Wild Wolf tarot deck that you resonated with. First of all, I really love the artwork, the color scheme and the aesthetics of this tarot deck. But the suits in this tarot deck are named a little differently, and also the court cards have different names. Some of the major arcana cards have different names, and what's really special about this deck, or at least I think that it's special, is that, you know, each of the cards, whether they are from the major arcana or the minor arcana, each of the cards has a keyword, and that kind of, you know, gives us with what intention the designer of the deck. Okay, so while I was talking, this card came through, the World. And that's what I mean, like they have the keyword, and I really love the aesthetics and the artwork. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. we're starting with the World card. So yeah, that kind of gives the intention that the artist for the deck, set when she was designing. And I do pay attention to that. And I feel like, I know that the artist's intentions does influence my reading as well. So let's see. So what is the advice that needs to come through for your situation? The World card, starting with the World card and the keyword being completion. Let's see. Let me draw the cards first, few cards, and see what's happening. Then we have the Ten of Hunters, which is the suit of pentacles in this tarot deck. And the keyword there is contribution. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. What is the advice for your situation? Pile 1. What is Spirit's advice for your situation? Then we have the Masculine, and this is a major arcana card, and this is the Emperor in this tarot deck. And the keyword is structure. What is the advice for your situation? Let's see what situation is unfolding. So far, I'm really getting very good vibes about the situation, and therefore about you, my people who are watching this pile 1 reading. It seems like you are in a very good and comfortable position in your life, and enjoy a level of autonomy. Then we have the Union with the Lovers. Enjoy a fair bit of autonomy and control over your world. And so far the cards are so fulfilling that I'm like, why do we even need advice for this situation? I feel like a lot is going on for you. But every time I think that, that's my cue to shut up and draw more tarot cards, because something definitely does come up. Okay, so let's keep drawing the cards and see where this reading takes us. Okay. All right, we have the Two of Watchers, which is the Two of Swords, and the keyword is choice. Okay. The Lovers can also be about choice. While it is, of course, Union is one of the meanings of the Lovers card in general from the major arcana, it can also be a card of choice. So, 2 cards that are talking about choices. What is the advice for your situation? Pile 1. Okay. From the major arcana again card, we have the Moon with the Unknown. The Moon is all about yes, the unknown, but to me, it's also the hidden parts of the psyche, from our shadow self, which is to say everything that we actively suppress in our minds, and we allow, or we don't allow it to surface, to come up. Oh, this had turned over. We have the Ace of Caretakers, which is the Ace of Cups with compassion. Okay. So, as I was saying, for me, the Moon is all about those deeper aspects of the psyche that we consciously or sometimes subconsciously suppress, because they're typically things that are hard to deal with, truths about us that are hard to face, harder to heal, but they drive our behavior to a large extent, unfortunately, and which is why it's so beneficial to do shadow work. I'm myself thinking of designing a shadow work reading and post it as a part of Pick a Pile readings, just to sort of give you an example of how that would look like, and also possibly give you some guidance in the area of shadow work, because Those are not typically readings that are sought out, but in case you're interested. Okay, so what advice needs to come through for pile 1? 3 more cards, 3 more spots to fill. Okay, we have the Hunt with traditions. This is the Hierophant in this tarot deck. Okay, what needs to come through? What advice? Okay, this is Alpha of Caretakers, which is the King of Cups in this tarot deck. The keyword is emotional balance. What advice needs to come through for pile 1? Needs to come through for pile 1 for their situation. Then we have the 7 of Cups, 7 of Caretakers, keyword illusion. Okay. Let's check the bottom of the deck energy. We have Surrender, which is, I believe, the Hanged Man. No, that was the Injured. Oh yeah, this is the Injured. Why did I say so? Oh, the keyword is Surrender. Okay. So this is the Hanged Man energy, the overall energy of the spread. If you're seeing this or watching my reading for the very first time, that's how I look at the bottom of the deck energy, that it kind of summarizes the energy of the spread in front of me and kind of gives me the bigger context within which to interpret the cards. If you've seen my readings before, you must have heard this hundreds of times by now. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to start with the bottom of the deck energy, actually, with this one. That's what I'm intuitively being called to. So the Hanged Man energy is being stuck in a limbo. And I feel like this is what the other cards in this spread are talking about, okay? You have a decision to make. That was very apparent when the Two of Watchers, which is the Two of Swords, and the Lover's card came through for you. So you have to make a decision right now about something. Now, as I said, this is, we are talking about any area of your life with these types of readings, and the advice would apply to that. So it could be maybe, in the area of relationship, careers, wanting to expand, family, whatever is going on with you. But there is a choice point that you stand on, or you are on right now, and you are not sure of which way to go, okay? Which feelings to respond to at this time, which to know that, those feelings are an illusion, or those feelings are not important while you're making this decision, or they are not relevant to the decision that you're making. That is what I feel like you are finding hard to discern at this time. And with the Hanged Man energy being the overall energy of the spread, you might be in a place where you're just not going forward, not moving forward. So with the World, the Ten of Hunters, which is Ten of Pentacles, and the Emperor card, right in the beginning of the spread, in the top row, as I said, I still do feel that very positive vibe from you. I feel like financially, you might be doing pretty well already, even if this is about, you wanting to expand your career or your business, and, you having to decide, which direction should I take it to, where should I invest my money. I feel like already your starting position is quite good. Okay, the Emperor with the Ten of Pentacles, that's what makes me think of material success with resources, having money, having any other kind of resources that are necessary for the situation that we are talking about at this time. It could also be time. It could also be, emotionally, like being ready and emotionally being available, having the space in your life to welcome this new thing, if this is, in the context of a relationship. So I feel like you're starting off from a very good position. the World card, you might have just ended a cycle. Okay, so it could be maybe you're just getting out of a cyclical kind of drama that was unfolding in your life. Again, could be in any area of your life, but it seems like this was like a pattern that that you were kind of stuck in, I feel like, and you have been successful, like recently successful in completely changing your vibe, completely changing your life, your situation, compared to, like, if I were to say look back a year or like a couple of years ago and compare it to now, how you feel, that might be like drastically different. That's what the World card is talking about. With this rendition of the World card, where there's a sunrise, the first thing, like when I first saw the card, when I drew it, I also thought about hope. Okay, so being in this hopeful position, I also see the sun in the Emperor card here. So sunrise is always, for me at least, it's a symbol of hope, you know. So as I said, you might be coming out of like a difficult time in your life, which good for you, you know, you were able to successfully navigate those difficult times, and you were able to reach to this place where you are now, where you feel more grounded, where you feel more stable, where you feel more in control. But life has brought another kind of dilemma and situation for you, in which you will have to make a choice. That is what you're being called to do right now, okay? With the Ace of Cups, I feel like this is more so to do with the heart, or it's a situation that's really affecting you emotionally. Okay, it could be talking about a potential relationship, or it could be talking about, even when it's, you know, in the area of career or business, you know, this is something you wanting to do, something which speaks to your heart, is more aligned with where you want to go as, you know, the next chapter or the beginning of the next chapter in your life. The other day I was doing sort of like a business career reading for someone else, and this is a similar kind of situation where they wanted to make a change with their career, and with, you know, the work that they do day in, day out, but that person was in a comfortable kind of position already in their life, so they wanted to invest into something that really felt like was aligned with their heart. Okay, and that Ace of Cups energy is stuck between the Moon and the Hierophant. Okay, so as I said, the Moon is all about, you know, our subconscious fears and worries and doubts, and it's also about like our own self-concept, how we view ourselves, and therefore how we view the world. And that is dictated by all these like elements that form a part of our shadow. Now, as I said in the beginning, or like while I was drawing these cards, most of the times the stuff that remains in our shadow work, whether we are actively or, you know, unconsciously suppressing it, that's sometimes really hard to see, but also it does influence, you know, the situations that we find ourselves in. And it takes a little bit of pause, okay, a little bit of stepping within ourselves and really engaging in a form of introspection and self-examination. And checking in with yourself and seeing whether you are approaching something, you know, external in your life, whatever that might be, and which is in itself not important, but checking in with yourself and seeing, you know, the emotions that this brings up, and the what do you call it, the reaction that it brings up within you. Is that coming from a place that might be hidden somewhere in the shadow, whether it is from, you know, your fear, whether it is from how you view yourself. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves certain opportunities because, like, the deep down reason for that could be, you know, that we don't feel good enough. we don't feel worthy enough. And through self-examination, if we discover something uncomfortable like this, like your self-concept is not high enough, for example, this is a difficult thing to encounter, when we go within. So when if we do, that is the step one, that is the first step in order to, create this alchemy through understanding and through healing of our feelings and how we relate to that thing outside of us. I hope I didn't sound like very complex and very cryptic, but basically what I'm trying to say is that if there is an external stimulus in any form, okay, and you are having a reaction to it and you are unable to feel comfortably aligned to it, or you are fearing it, okay, and you are observing that because of these, deep down fears or these drives that you're suppressing, you're kind of not being able to handle the situation as well as you should have. You're kind of like, self-sabotaging yourself. You're ruining things for yourself, and it's just not working out. That's when, you need to take a step in within yourself and really connect with that heart, and really examine and ask yourself, what is it within you that is causing this outside to become such a problem, okay? Or in this situation, what is it within you that is causing this disruption so that like you're not able to decide, you're stuck in a limbo? The stagnant energy of the Hanged Man can get really frustrating without knowing like what to do or what would be the right choice, the confusion. What Spirit is saying at this point of time to you is that given that the moon energy is present, okay, and that is coming adjacent to the world, which I feel like you're coming out of or you have just shifted into this new vibe. Spirit is saying that maybe the trepidations, the fears, the hesitations that you're feeling towards this something that you're watching this reading for, towards someone or something, could be coming from the experiences of the past. And it might be, as in like this situation, might be triggering your fears, okay, which is based, or the roots of which are to do with your past. Now, this could be the recent past, or it could also mean, as back as like your childhood. And what needs to happen is a little bit of healing that you need to bring into your life by understanding, how these fears from the past that might have triggered the situation might have triggered these fears from the past, which is now making it difficult for you to feel unstuck, to move forward, to take a decision, okay? With the Two of Watchers and the Seven of Cups, which is all about like being extremely confused, I feel like this situation is very triggering for you at this time, okay? I feel like you might be trying your best to balance these triggered emotions that you feel by talking some sense into yourself, like, talking about taking some advice maybe from the other people around you, or it could be you telling yourself like, this is what I should do because, traditionally this works, but it could be that, that doesn't feel right, which is why, you're in that stuck energy. But the Seven of Cups is also telling me that this is really triggering you in unexpected ways maybe, and bringing up a lot of emotions, some of them positive, some of them negative. So it's that whole whirlwind of emotions that I feel like you might be stuck in right now. And that is of course coming adjacent to the Two of Swords, which is again, being stuck and not being able to decide, being confused. Swords is the energy of thoughts, of mental action, and Two of Swords is that energy of confusing, conflicting thoughts, and not really being able to decide. One of the things though with the Two of Swords energy, maybe not so much with this rendition of the deck, but just in general with the Two of Swords energy, one of the things that is quite prominent in other tarot decks is that, you know, there's a blindfold, typically a blindfold on the eyes of the character that's holding the two swords, and representing, of course, conflicting thoughts. And what that blindfold represents is an inability to see the situation clearly for what it is, okay? You're not at this time being able to concentrate on the parts of this, whatever you are dealing with, again, the situation, maybe, you know, the connection or the opportunity, whatever it might be. You're not able to see it for what it is, and therefore from this, and of course, like, there are these triggers, as I said, there's this confusion. So from this place of being triggered, of being confused and not knowing, you know, how to respond to these emotions, which is, you know, the Seven of Cups is clarifying or coming adjacent to the Two of Swords. So there's emotional upheaval, and then there's conflicting thoughts. So right now, even though you might be really trying, and I feel like you really are trying to keep a balanced view, and at times you might be feeling really in charge too of your emotions. That's the energy of the King of Cups here, the Alpha of Caretakers. The King of Cups is all about, like, being in charge of your emotions. And the Lovers, that coming adjacent to the Lovers, I'm thinking, you know, I'm feeling like Spirit is saying, like, when you feel emotionally balanced, that's when your decision, your choice in this situation, again, would be the right one. Now, going back a few sentences, just hold on one second. I'm really, really thirsty. I'll take a sip of water and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, as I was saying, like, because the situation might be triggering a lot of emotions, a lot of fears, and how I said, you know, that's exactly what is clouding your judgment or your ability to see the situation clearly for what it is, see the connection clearly for what it is, see the opportunity clearly for what it is. How that works usually is that it interferes with our ability to really judge our own reaction in the sense, or judge our own position in relation to that external, you know, stimulus, whatever it is in your case. So when this happens, you know, I know that, like I said, for some of you, I can clearly see that you're trying really hard to get to that place of emotional balance. Maybe some of you do feel balanced at times towards this external stimulus that you're watching this reading for. Maybe you do feel balanced, but mostly I feel like there is this stuck energy of the Hanged Man. So my point is that when this happens and you're trying to achieve emotional balance, clearly define and know for yourself what your emotional balanced situation or position, not situation, sorry, what an emotional balanced feeling for you looks like, okay? Maybe you need to, one, question your own thought processes. You need to question your own feelings, your own confusion. And I would say more so a big yes, like, do that for you guys, because there's this moon energy present that we're dealing with. So really question your own thoughts, question your own feelings, and have a balanced view of this external stimulus as well, which is not to make it bigger than you, okay? The King of Cups, like, when a emotionally balanced person takes a decision, they feel quite confident that, you know, that they're making the right choice, But even if they were not making the right choice, and let's say, because the future, anything could happen, we get into whatever situation that we do get into, whether it's a job or a business or like a relationship, we do get into it with like really good intentions from the start, right? But then as it unfolds, things can go wrong, and things do go wrong, okay? But from an emotionally balanced point of view, if a person were to decide, they go in knowing that too, that things can go wrong, and this might not work out and this might fail, but they don't allow those fears to be bigger than themselves, telling themselves that they are capable of handling the challenges that come up. So which makes them, or which allows them to continue moving and not be stuck in this energy. That kind of gives them the confidence to actually take these decisions, and to go forth and to go forward in life. But yeah, even if you were to ask like a person who has taken like a few important decisions in their life, and if you were to ask them, like, did they know at the time of taking that decision whether that thing would work out or not, they would definitely tell you like, no, they didn't know. But they feel confident within themselves. That's the energy. So a lack of confidence that you might be feeling, or just not being able to envision in future like how the things would unfold, and always like worrying about like maybe how would this work out for me. Those kind of triggers, those kind of feelings might be triggered, as I said, from your past experience. That's what Spirit is saying. So they are worth examining. They're really worth examining, okay? And once you examine that, you will get your answers, whether to go for the choice or whether to walk away from it, whatever that might be for you, or whichever one would be correct for you. But that takes you out of this hanged man energy and kind of gives you a certain sense of relief of being able to then move forward, because I feel like you guys have already come a long way to get to this position of like the Emperor with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like this is an earned kind of position for most of you. You have had to really work on yourself, on your life, really put in the hard work to get to where you are today, where you are right now. So it does make sense that now, as you look at the future, and with this, option, that has popped up in front of you, you might be having some difficulty making a firm decision on it. But do that from a place of emotional balance by examining your fears, examining your worries, your doubts, okay? Ask yourself, like, how much of it is relevant to the situation you are in right now, and how much of it is coming from your past failures, from your past experiences, difficult, negative experiences that you've had in the past. So truly ask yourself that. That might in itself give you a lot of clarity, and might help you see the situation that you're in more objectively, and even maybe, certain things about it that you're not seeing right now with the Two of Swords energy, the blindfold on your eyes, they might surface and you might be able to see them much more clearly, okay? So I am going to get some oracle cards as advice for you. I have a whole bunch of oracle decks over here, and I will list, of course, all the tarot and oracle decks that I have used in all of these readings in the description box below. If you are one of those that like knowing the names of the deck, which I do, I really do, if I see a deck I like. Anyways, let's draw some oracle cards and see what comes up. As I said, more advice or maybe more insight into the situation. This is a major arcana only deck. It's called the Terror Tarot. Let me quickly show you the box because I really quite enjoy the box. This is the box for the the tarot deck, a major arcana deck. Comes with a beautiful big guidebook. But the major arcana cards in this tarot deck are based on themes from the horror and gore genre of books and TV, like movies. And I see major arcana cards as like the major theme of whatever it is that we are reading into. So let's see what is the major theme of this this difficult situation that you find yourself in. Okay. We have the moon energy again. Yeah, so definitely check your fears and your worries and your doubts. And as I said, ask yourself, how much of it is connected to the stimulus right in front of you, and how much of it is connected to the past. So Spirit is really calling you to do that self-introspection and that self-examination, because as I said, I feel like most of you that are watching this reading have just come out or might still be coming out of a difficult kind of dynamic that had similar themes, if not the exact same, but it was in the same kind of area of life, and you're just coming out of it. And the moon energy is talking about your subconscious fears that might, without you knowing, might be a part of these emotions that this stimulus has triggered for you. So now is the time to really question yourself as to how you feel. We have the Mystic Martial deck. Would you need to know what's the advice? And if when there are these subconscious fears and just triggers from our shadows that are influencing or affecting our ability to be present with a situation that we are in right now, it can be quite hindering and unnecessarily so. Like your vision, your view, or how you perception is everything, right? So how you perceive, let's say this is about a connection, a romantic connection. Maybe the way you're perceiving this new person, perceiving their actions, their words, and how it's all making you feel, that it's more likely with the moon energy, it's more likely that it's wrong and worth examining, worth questioning. Okay, we have divine feminine, birthing, and fertility. Okay. And there is a word there for the Martian, but for the life of me, I can't pronounce it. So there you go. Divine feminine, birthing, fertility. Okay. So Ace of Cups type of energy, something new, rising. So definitely about beginnings, okay? Birthing. Something new is wanting to come out in your life through you. And regardless of whether you are a male or a female watching this video, birthing, you are channeling the feminine energy, okay? The feminine energy, which is, part of all of us, the divine feminine. This is also this current situation that you find yourself in is also something that will ultimately empower the divine feminine. Because let's say you were to face your fears, let's say you were to do the healing work that is necessary for your triggers at this time. Let's say you were to find the place of emotional balance. Do you see what that is doing ultimately to your spirit? It's actually making, like I said, the spirit within you, the divine feminine within you, that aspect of your spirit, it's strengthening it because it's a situation that demanded inner healing. And all these exercises that we do, introspection, looking within, checking within ourselves, and this is usually done through activities like meditation, journaling, okay, counseling maybe. But what that does when we get more acquainted with our own selves, and therefore, heal ourselves and see the need to heal ourselves, what that does ultimately is adding to our spiritual power. That's how I see life anyways, in my personal opinion, that ultimately what we're seeking is spiritual power, our own spiritual power, and not power in the sense of like the power that you get, to control things outside of you. No, but really getting connected with that part of us that's really invincible. And all these experiences in life, they're leading us to that. That's what I believe. So, yeah, but speaking of this reading, for my Pile 1 people watching it, you are at this time really giving birth to a new chapter, a new something in your life. Okay. So, what else? Ego, ancestral healing. Your ancestors are holding space for you to heal your past. Yeah. So healing your past, I feel like, again, a message that is repeated, but, Spirit is trying to put it in a different, or into different words, because sometimes, that does make a difference. You need to hear the same message, but maybe said differently, and that's when it clicks. So ancestral healing your past. And when it talks about ancestral healing, it also makes me think of intergenerational trauma that's passed from one generation to the other. And it could be trauma, it could be limiting beliefs. So sometimes like our relationship to an idea like money, okay, that is like really messed up, and we might have a scarcity mindset rather than an abundance mindset, because that's what we have seen our ancestors or like our family. That's how we have seen everybody behaving or holding their beliefs towards money. And this is a situation that's calling you to look at that limiting belief. This was an example, of course, applied to your situation. And intergenerational trauma is, in the area of relationship. For example, if you're watching this in that context, then it could look like, you being traumatized. Oh, relationships. Yeah. Looking at your relationships from your past, I feel like the messages, the interconnected web. I will read the statement in a minute, but this web, so kind of like your connections and how they influence you. What have you picked up from your environment? This could be family. This could be the culture you identify with, your space, the people in your energetic space. Are there certain things that you're picking up from them? They might be projecting it onto you, so really doing like a deep dive into your own self. And it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. But you know what, the statement, higher good is also served by people who really show us, these limiting beliefs and how they have done things wrong in the past. So in the sense, like, that relationship was really good for your higher self, which is, towards your higher good, maybe not your ego, because your ego was stuck in a cycle. And the cycle was present in your life because you had those limiting beliefs, for example, and they were feeding into whatever it is that you were trying to do. And therefore your ego didn't get to enjoy something so far. But ultimately, as I said, it brings in healing, because these people and these relationships, this connection, even if it's a painful connection, it was for your higher good. So anyways, this makes me think, look into your environment, look into the people that you relate to, and what lessons have you learned in the past, and either through pain that these relationships might have caused you, or it could be by observation of other people. And yeah, this is really calling you to check in with your past, with your present connections, and be very mindful and very sort of alert about how it might have influenced your mental energy, your emotional energy. Have you, or are you believing in something that's really not even your own belief? Let me say that again. Are you believing in something that might really not be yours to believe in? Okay? So, let me get one more card from the Moonology deck. So yeah, higher good. It could be that you know, as this card, like if we were to apply it to say future, you know, I attract those people into my life that serve my higher good. You could be attracting a painful relationship because that pain might be needed at this time to get you to look within and really examine yourself and heal yourself, and therefore, you know, get aligned to something better out there. Sometimes that's how these things work. So it's not always hunky-dory, but definitely your past is affecting how you are perceiving this situation that you're watching this reading for, whatever context it is, okay? And some healing needs to be done. Okay. Your dreams need a practical plan. So some of you, like I said, need to first get to a place of balance, hold a balanced view of it, and then actually make a practical plan in order to execute the repercussions that come from this decision. Okay? Let me take a sip of water again, and I will be right back. Okay, so let's get some cards from the, what do you call it, the tea leaf oracle deck. So, in case you haven't seen it before, it's a really thick circular deck which is impossible to shuffle, and they give us a convenient bag in which to put it in. And basically you're supposed to draw the cards, put your hand in the bag and pull out a card sort of idea, which I do really appreciate because this is a deck impossible to shuffle. So what do you need to know about this situation? Okay, this says, time to get out of a situation and pale. So when they talk about, I feel like when it says, you know, get out of a situation, it could also be talking about the hanged man position that you are in right now. Or for some of you, this is about leaving your past behind in order to move forward, okay? So take it and apply it in either of those senses or both of those senses. But this is not, I don't think this means, you know, or in the sense, like, I don't think this card is saying drop this need to take a decision and just run from it. I don't think that's what it's saying. But it's saying, you know, you have to leave certain things in the past, or, you know, it's now time for you to do this work, do the self-examination and move ahead from this stuck hanged man situation that you find yourself in. Okay? Position, hanged man position. This is an odd card to come up, but it could be relevant for some of you, definitely. Dealings or relationship with a man that is with blonde, gray, or white hair. So for some of you, you are watching this reading, I feel, in the context of a connection, whether romantic or friendship or what have you. But there you go. If this message made sense to you, please let me know in the comment section below. This does happen to me in my readings sometimes, that I get like really odd messages, but I still put them out there. And later on, I discover that it was relevant to this like one person who does get back to me and tells me, you know, that it made complete sense to them. So let me know. Let me know. My job is just to channel, not to question. Shut the questioning mind. Oh my God, look at this. You can't make this thing up. Fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. Oh my God. Okay, now I'm really convinced that some of you are talking or like looking at this from a relationship context kind of view. By the way, do you like my new bracelet? This is lava stone bracelet that I just got like a couple of hours ago. I really enjoy it. I love the look. Anyways, so as I said, some of you are really watching this, are truly watching this for through a dilemma about a connection, and I feel like it could be either of you watching or like both of you watching at the same time somehow. I don't know. But fair man, fair woman, there you go. We have the couple from the Tea Leaf Oracle featuring. Let's get one more. Oh, we have December. So December might be relevant to some of you. Maybe this started in December or the coming December 2022. Okay. But I always hold the intention to keep my readings timeless. With that said, just the month of December might be significant to you in some ways. Something significant and relevant to the situation happened in December. Oh my God, look at this. Birth or conception of a child or enterprise again. So literally these tea leaf cards, I feel like covered the whole gamut. It's like relationship, maybe some of you watching it for getting some advice or clarity about a relationship, or birthing an enterprise, so maybe career or changes. So there you go. I'm going to leave your reading here. I hope that this reading resonated. It does call for you to examine your past, question your fears, and that is how you will find success with, moving ahead in whatever direction, whether you do decide to go for it or you decide to go away from it. That doesn't seem to be like most important thing here. What is most important is that you question your perception. You heal the wounding that is influencing or affecting your perception of this connection. Get clarity, get emotional clarity is what I mean. An emotionally balanced place with this King of Cups here peeking through. Hi. And yeah, you should be able to find your way through this situation. Okay, so I really hope this was helpful. I hope that the messages resonated. Please let me know in the comments below if this reading made sense to you and what your situation is. I would love to communicate and talk to you more. And also please leave a like on this video if this video did help you. And please consider subscribing and staying back for more future readings to come. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye, Pile 1. Hello, Pile 2. So this is for those of you that resonated with this beautiful amethyst crystal and the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. Welcome to your reading. We are going to be asking Spirit's advice for your situation, as the title of this video says. And the advice could be in any context. So please take it and apply it to whichever area of life that this reading would be about for you. And we are going to start with the tarot first, take a look at what advice comes through the tarot, and then we are going to move to oracle cards. So, what advice does Spirit have for Pile 2? What advice does Spirit have? Oops, one card flipped over. I saw, but I missed it. Where is it? Was it this one? I'm not sure. Okay, let's keep shuffling. Oh, there it is. There it is. Here we go. We are starting with the Six of Swords energy. Okay. What advice needs to come through for Pile 2? What advice needs to come through for Pile 2's situation? The Six of Swords is all about forward movement, leaving something behind. And especially with this rendition of the Six of Swords card, I do sense a lot of pain, and there's pain and now there's hope, kind of walking away from a painful situation, that did cause you quite a bit of like stress, but you're taking what's remaining and walking into the unknown future. But there's light, so there's hope that you have in your heart. It feels like. Okay, so I was going to flip this over. Then we have the 8 of Wands energy. Okay. What advice needs to come through for pile 2 in their situation? What advice needs to come through for pile 2? Whoops, this jumped up. We also have the 10 of Swords, feeling done, overwhelmed, tired, feeling like giving up, fighting the situation and just accepting it, feeling defeated. Okay. I'm just gonna move the cards up because there is going to be a bottom row. What advice needs to come through for pile 2? Okay, we have both these cards turned over, so I'm going to take them. We have the High Priestess and we have the 4 of Wands. Okay. Let's clarify these energies or get more insight into them. What needs to come through for pile 1? Oh, sorry, I'm in pile 2. What needs to come through for pile 2 as advice for their situation? What advice needs to come through for pile 2? We have the 6 of Wands. Look at that. I feel like, okay, kind of getting a sense of it already, but let me draw some more cards. Okay. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, this turned over. We have the Chariot. Okay. What advice needs to come through for pile 2? Then we have the Fool. Okay. All right. What started off as like sort of a dark energy, or like a, not a dark, but like a negative headspace to be in, or feeling like, you know, you have sustained some kind of loss and you're just walking away from something. But this is actually good, is what the message is for you. That perhaps the thing that you need to do in whatever it is that you're watching in reference with is to view that ending, okay? View that circumstance that was created in your life from which you were asked to, or sort of like you had to walk away from. Spirit is saying that please view that as a good thing, a good news, okay? What you're seeing as loss is actually success, okay? It's going to bring in the movement that is needed in your life at this time, that is going to take you towards your success. And maybe, you know, with the 10 of Swords energy, you were seeing it as something really stressful, something really, or you took a lot of stress, I feel like, you know, in this, just before the 6 of Swords energy. I feel like you were stressed out about it. You did take a lot of pain, a lot of mental stress, worry, as you were dealing with whatever it is that you were dealing with just before the 6 of Swords happened. That is like, you know, you choosing to walk away. But Spirit is saying at this time that even though it was quite overwhelming, and you might feel tired now, okay? You might feel really tired now and have like no desire to do more. But Spirit is saying that this will lead to, or this will be the momentum, this will start the momentum that is needed to bring in more aligned, whatever it is, situation, connections, opportunities into your life, that you will feel excited, or even if you're scared at this time, but you will, if you're listening to your intuition and just going for it, I feel like that's going to lead to success. I wouldn't be surprised if a positive card came up to clarify the Four of Wands. Let's see. We have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, something that is going to make you feel in charge, in control, fully passionate, ready to deal with life again. Yeah, so this is, the straight up advice, the big advice that needs to come through is to really know, have faith, have faith. The Fool is all about trusting and having faith. Even though, the Fool is about to jump off a cliff, and the Fool doesn't know, he or she, well, in this tarot deck, it's a she, but you know what I mean, like the energy could be, it could represent a male or a female. But anyway, it represents like forward movement and transformation that is happening through forward movement and leaping into the future. But she doesn't know where she's going to fall into or what's going to happen to her. So it's all about trusting. And trusting what? Your intuition. I see butterflies here, and I see the same type of butterflies in a similar structure in the High Priestess card. By the way, bottom of the deck energy is also very awesome. It's Three of Wands. Again, all about looking forward and moving ahead and feeling good about it, actually, with the Wands energy. So with the High Priestess card, we have the butterflies, as I was saying, matching butterflies. And that kind of makes me, think that this would be quite transformative. The experience that you are going through right now, whatever it is that you're watching this reading about, if you were to trust your intuition and go with your intuition. Sometimes we find really hard to trust our intuition, don't we? Because we are never sure, especially after like having experienced a Six of Swords type of energy and situation, where you've had to give up on something, or like needing to distance yourself and walking away, and you have been feeling quite tired and overwhelmed and defeated too, with that Ten of Swords energy being present there. But if you were to do that, trust that, know that better times are right around the corner. I feel like for you guys, literally right around the corner. Like it's literally like take the lead, trust your intuition and go with it, and boom, Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. Four of Wands is all about celebration. So if you're watching this in the context of a relationship, and if you've just walked away from a connection, and with the Chariot card, maybe you have also had to move. So maybe this as the situation as it played out caused you to give up, like say, your former place of residence and where you were living. Spirit is saying, have the faith, go with the flow, trust your intuition, trust what could really connect with your gut, your inner High Priestess. Whatever it's saying to you, with the High Priestess coming up upright, she's right on point. Like she's out here to guide you through your thoughts and your emotions. It's always a combination of that. And literally bang, around the corner, you'll find success, you'll find happiness. And as I was saying, yeah, my original point, if you're watching this in the context of relationships, then, a commitment with somebody that's more aligned is right around the corner. Okay, so the overall vibe, how I look at the bottom of the deck energy, if you're watching my reading for the very first time, is that I see it as the overall, like, larger context within which to interpret the cards. So the larger context being the Three of Wands, I feel like this is hopeful, looking into the future, planning. Okay, and with the Three of Wands energy especially, it denotes like a certain level of stability, of success. Like this person, they're looking into this crystal ball and looking for guidance for the future, but they already have like 3 wands behind them in the ground, like standing tall. So this is about, already having certain things lined up for us, working for us, and we are still continuing forward, wanting to go forward. We have the energy, the enthusiasm to plan ahead. So that kind of optimism is the overall vibes which you may or may not be feeling at this time. Maybe your intuition is already telling you that, and maybe you're unable to like really listen to it and respond to it. But don't worry, okay? The Six of Swords is actually your Six of Wands, okay? The Six of Swords, this whatever it is that you walked away from, is actually your victory, is the thing that needed to happen, almost like to bring in success. With the Eight of Wands and the Three of Pentacles energy, this is about new opportunity coming in, and coming in really fast. Again, if this is a relationship, then a new person is coming towards you. And Eight of Wands is a fast moving energy. It's happening really, really quick now. Okay. So if this is a relationship, it's a new person. If this is in the context of work, career, business, finances, this is getting an opportunity to work on something with someone, with whatever resources you have, and build more. Three of Pentacles is about building more. Okay. And this type of building is a more kind of positive, aligned kind of building, I want to say, like something that really works out, because, Pentacles, the Three Pentacles, the triad, it's about body, mind, and soul. So something more aligned, something more that will feel more guaranteed to succeed. Okay. Putting in your all, kind of a position. And your Ten of Swords, yeah, you might feel like, tired and like giving up and like enough is enough. But with the Chariot, again, like I'm sensing that, it will be asked of you to get up, get on that Chariot and get moving. Or maybe it has already been asked of you to do that. Like I said, this could represent like travel for some of you. And Spirit is also acknowledging that, you are this charioteer, this powerful person that's in command and in control. So you might not feel like that at this point of time, maybe, but you are actually quite good with the work that you've done on yourself in the past. You're ready to take command of your ship, I feel like, and move ahead into the future with confidence that, not only do you have the raw material to drive your chariot, which is your life, in the direction that you want, but you will be able to handle whatever comes up next. Okay? Those are the two prominent messages. So overall, a really positive kind of reading. I'm really happy for you guys, actually, just looking at the energies there. And know that if you have been feeling the stress of the Ten of Wands and the sadness and the kind of sort of defeat that I sense from the Six of Swords, know that this was a catalyst that was much needed in your life, and things are going to turn really fast, really soon. That's the wonderful message. Okay, so let me get into the oracle messages for you guys. And this special little tarot deck, and I call it little because it's just a major arcana only, 21 cards or 22, called the Tarot. And I showed the box to the Pile 1 people watching this, so why not you guys? This is the box. I really enjoy this deck. I got it fairly recently, and yeah, for me, major arcana is all about like the major themes, the major lessons, the cycles that we are going through in our life through the experience that we are reading for. So I'm going to take a card from it and see what major lessons that you are being asked to pay attention to. What's the major theme of this reading, this situation that you find yourself in? Yeah, the cards of this deck are based on the horror, gore genre of movies and books. Yeah. So let's see what comes up for Pile 2. Okay. The matte finish of these cards make it a little difficult. Okay, so we have the moon energy again. This came up for Pile 1 as well. So the moon is all about like feeling, as I said, fearful, doubtful, worry about the future or about, where you are at. And with the moon energy especially, the message always is to question those thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. because Spirit is trying to say that whatever you're feeling, the fears, it is not real, okay? They are just in... I don't want to sound too flippant by saying, oh, it's just in your head. But what I'm trying to say is that it's worth examining. It's worth questioning them. It's worth, denying them by bringing in the trust of the Fool and taking the leap into the future. It's worth doing that, especially in this situation for you guys who are watching this reading, okay? Don't listen to them. They are causing unnecessary interruption. If you feel the need, like examine them more deeply, which you can do through like either counseling, meditation, writing about them, or talking to a therapist, what have you. But they're worth denying. They're worth questioning. It's an illusion, darling. Then we have infinity, eternal, past life. So this makes me feel like, and I can't pronounce the word, Ouroboros? I don't know, the mystic Martian name. This is the mystic Martian oracle, and I am looking at the serpent that's circling around this female, which is kind of like a fetus. And it makes me feel like you are in a space of like getting ready, like incubating, like the calm before the storm, sort of like you're just like sort of resting for a while now. If forward movement and these changes have not happened, and when they do happen, suddenly everything changes. But right now it could be that you are resting, and the keywords infinity, eternal, past life. I feel like something from your past life is healing in this while you're resting, okay? This is very complex to describe, but sometimes our souls, not our bodies, not our mind, but our souls need to go through this period of time where like really nothing is happening. Of course, nothing is happening on the outside, but even within us, which explains the like Ten of Swords feeling, where it's like, oh, I'm done. But it's literally before some change hits and something new starts, I feel like. Okay? And through this ending that you might have worked through in your recent past, this is kind of like an ending of a big karmic situation for you, and it's like your transformation. When you go into the future that's coming towards you now, you will feel like a brand new person. It's like shedding the old skin. That's also what I'm getting. Okay? All right. Big, major changes are happening, whether it feels like or not. And I feel like you've already gone through a lot for now to be prepared to enjoy what's coming up. Get ready to really welcome the good things in your life that you've been wanting, I feel like, for a very long time and waiting for them to happen. This is like Spirit is saying, it's just a pause before you are able to welcome all of that into your life. Okay, so what do you need to know? What is the advice for your situation? Pile 2. What do you need to know? Pile 2. Amazing reading. I'm really enjoying this reading. Let's see. New pathways. Consider whether you're happy on your current path. So that might be relevant for some of you. Okay. You have the antelope. Really, maybe some of you are still stuck in your old ways somewhat, or wondering mentally, this stuck in your past, or on your current path. It could be mental as well, like mentally stuck and still looking back, like this antelope is looking back. And if you're doing that, question why you're doing so. Like, what's your motivation with that? And that might lead you to the thing that needs healing, okay, within you. And new pathways, it's new things coming into your life. So it's almost like don't look back so much, and don't feel hopeless in your current situation. very uplifting read. Like if I were feeling the Ten of Swords thing and I received this reading, I would be over the moon excited about it. Oh, let's go to the Soul Journey first, or yeah, Soul Journey Oracle. What advice do you have, Spirit, for my pile 2 people? Yeah, so as I was saying, if I received this reading for whatever it is that I feel stuck with, or if I felt the Ten of Swords energy, which is feeling tired, defeated, lost, not knowing what to do, feeling like giving up, and this reading came up, it would make me really happy. I'm really excited for you guys. Please let me know in the comments below your story, if you will. Share it with me, please. Or you can write to me. My email is in the description box as well. I would love to know if this reading resonated and if this helped. Okay, so let's see. Oh, we have loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. Okay, so loneliness is kind of, again, in the Ten of Swords energy that you might be channeling. Loneliness can very much be a part of it, okay? Because sometimes when we are going through tough times, we feel like we are the only ones suffering, okay? And yet, Spirit is saying, look at this connectedness, the connectivity between all of these people and the universe and the larger scheme of things. Spirit is saying, know that you're not alone. No, oh my God, okay. Know that even through this feeling of loneliness, okay, Spirit has your back, the universe has your back, God has your back. Now, whatever word you want to use for it, that's fine by me. It has your back, like you are supported. Like I said, I feel like it's literally the pause before the big changes and the big storm. But the feelings of loneliness, of course, might be very real for you. And if you're tackling that, remember this, remember this reading, remember this advice. And hopefully you will be able to shift your energy out of it. Know that you're never, ever alone. Oh, that's a tough energy to channel, or like be in, I mean. So, I feel for you. But overall, this reading has to be like good news. What is the advice for pile 2? In whatever situation that they are watching this reading for? What is the advice for pile 2 people? Okay. We have meditate and contemplate. Okay. New moon in Pisces. Now, I do not know an astrology and all that, but if that makes sense to you, take the message. It's yours. But meditate and contemplate, this is a need, like I said, if you are finding yourself in sort of like a downtime right now, the best use that you can do of this downtime that you have is meditation and contemplating, working through your fears, working through the worry, working through your emotions, your triggered emotions, as you're coming out of the past and walking into the future. Meditation will help you get in touch with yourself. And also, you know, what that does is helps us calibrate or align more to the future that we are wanting to bring in. Because this downtime, you know, that might be relevant for most of you that are watching this reading, where you feel like nothing is happening, nothing is changing. It could be a good time, like you can turn it around, which is to say, like, make it into a positive time by really discerning what it is that you want to attract in the future, okay? So meditation, contemplation. What else am I getting from that card? Yeah, like I said, what do you really want? And what lessons can you learn from your past? What are the lessons and the sort of your transformation that you can bring into the future that is coming towards you? So for some of you, the advice really is to sit down and do the meditation. Now, this could be not necessarily like sitting down, closing your eyes and on the mat and spine straight, legs folded and all that. Meditation is, it's meditative is the state, and it's not an activity. That's how I see it. So it could be like through writing, through journaling, through talking to other people, and working through your fears. I feel like the moon energy, your fears and worries and doubt, that will help you feel grounded. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Because I don't know why, like groundedness, like that was coming through really strongly for you guys. And yeah, let's draw some cards from the Tea Leaf Oracle. Now, this is I don't know if you've seen this Oracle deck before here on YouTube or in person, but this is a really thick Oracle deck. So they have given us this wonderful bag to work with, and basically the idea is that you draw cards from it, you put your hand in the bag, which I can do on camera, and you pull out the cards, and yeah, let's get some messages from, because they're impossible to shuffle, really. Let's see. Okay. All right, the first message is Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Look at this. I love when this type of like synchronicity comes in with messages, and like, you know, the oracle cards that come up, they summarize what we have been looking at and talking about up until this point. So caterpillar is all about going through transformation. And yeah, you know, caterpillar, to transform into a butterfly, it has to go into a cocoon, right, first, and take a little bit of break from like external activity, and then it comes out transformed. Wow. Don't you see? Don't you love the synchronicity? I quite enjoy it, and I have been enjoying this reading right from when it started, because it's like, I know you feel down, I know you feel down and out and tired and done with everything, but a change is coming. Next we have, okay, period funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. So yeah, the Ten of Swords energy, and perhaps like I said, through meditation and contemplation, there are some lessons that you still need to deeply look at, but worry not, it's going to be a process that will prepare you for this wonderful future. Sometimes we have to spend some time, I feel like, and in my personal opinion, the more often you do it, the better, the contemplation, I mean, because that always keeps us in touch with our own selves and helps us, as I said, calibrate our own energy and align better to the future we want to bring in. Next we have October, so that might be relevant. It could be past October or the October in the future. Past October, if you know something relevant to this situation that you're watching this reading for happened in October, then you know that's what this is about. Or the coming October is going to be important for you guys. Okay, let's get two more. We have Scales, keep your life in balance. So finding a sense of balance, again, something that meditation should help you with. And having a balanced view of life, I feel like. Keeping your emotions in balance. Again, the process of taking a break, it can be really something that is necessary to bring us back in balance, I feel like. And it could be a process that's naturally unfolding right now for you. Like, you don't have to consciously, I feel like, work towards feeling more balanced. It will just happen naturally as a byproduct, I feel like. Okay. We have a Lily, spiritual love. So this could be talking about a connection that is coming up into your life, a soulmate type connection. Now, soulmates typically come into our lives when we are ready to ascend, spiritually ascend. They bring in important lessons to us. It could be talking about this past connection too, if you know that's relevant for you. Yeah, telling you that it was a connection that was important, a spiritual love that was important for your growth. Or it could be something that is upcoming for some of you guys. Amazing. Okay. All right, so I am going to leave your reading here. I sincerely hope that the reading was helpful and it did give you hope. And I hope the messages resonated. And yeah, let me know your story below. As I said, in the comment section below, you can write it in the comment section or send me an email. All my private readings, in case you would love one, are pay what you can at the time that this video, on the date that this video gets posted. And yeah, that is all for today, Pile 2 people. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. So this is for those of you that resonated with the Desert Rose Crystal and the Silver Era Tarot. Welcome to your reading. So as you already know, we are going to get Spirit's advice on your situation today. And that is relevant to, would be relevant, hopefully, to whatever or whichever situation that you are watching this reading for, whatever context that you are going to be applying these messages to. And we are going to start with the tarot, and then I'm going to go into my oracle messages. Whoops. I'm going to go into the oracle messages and take some more insight or advice for your situation. So let's see what unfolds. What is the advice for Pile 3 for their situation? What's the advice for Pile 3 for their situation? The card stock for these cards in the Silver Era Tarot are really thick and makes them a little bit difficult to shuffle, but not too bad. So we are starting with the Lover's energy. Okay. Some of you, I feel like, are watching this reading in the context of a relationship, current or past relationship. But it's also a card of choices. So, we never know. Let's see how it unfolds. What is the advice for Pile 3 situation? What is the advice for Pile 3? Oh, whoops, this jumped out. We have the Queen of Pentacles. What is the advice for Pile 3 situation? Oops. This flipped over, so we're going to take it. These two cards. We have the Nine of Swords, a card of stress, a card of worry, and we have the Devil energy here. If you're watching this in the context of a relationship, the Devil can talk about a sexual attraction, and the kind that can be quite intense and which can sometimes hinder our ability to perceive this connection or the relationship for what it is, if it is a dysfunctional one. Or it could also be like obsessive thoughts with the Nine of Swords energy. Yeah, so already with the 4 cards, I feel like, you know, it's talking about a situation, like I said, a romantic connection, or apply it to whatever context you want, but something that really you have been stressing a lot over. Okay, if it is not a romantic connection, then, you know, this is talking about obsessive thoughts and being stuck, feeling stuck, where actually you aren't stuck. The Devil is actually one of my favorite cards. Not one of my favorite cards, the favorite card in a tarot deck, because the Devil represents the kind of energy in which, you know, a person can really feel that they are stuck and they're at the mercy of something like an external force outside of them. But the Devil has this immense potential of growth if we let our perception about our, you know, stuckness, if that is a word, if we allow that to change and really see that it's a matter of choice and we free ourselves. Okay, so if it's not about like a romantic connection that you're watching this video for, it could be anything, like maybe a career, a job, a business prospect. But with the Queen of Pentacles energy here, that's kind of like one of the most positive aspects of this spread so far. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles energy here, I feel like this might represent your energy. Okay. I'll actually hold my tongue until I get clarification. I'm thinking like, maybe this is talking about your perception of their energy in a romantic connection. And also, like, if it's not about a connection, like you're viewing this opportunity as something that would bring in the Queen of Pentacles vibe, that is, stability, the freedom, the what do you call it? Like in general, grounded, positive energy, and you might be seeing something as a way or a means to get there, and if not about an opportunity or a job or a career, then this might be your perception that you've really suffered a great loss, or through a breakup, and now you're having to deal with the post-breakup emotions that typically arise, feeling really sad, feeling confused, and really stressing over it. I feel like look at the way she's wiping her tears, the balls of her palm, like, if I don't know what this area is called, but yeah, really pressing hard into her eyes, like a lot of stress. Okay, and even in the Lovers card, these lovers are kind of facing away from each other. So definitely, if a romantic connection, there has been breakup, it could be that you have chosen to walk away, or they have chosen to walk away, and you are evaluating and rethinking on the details of that breakup, wondering if you made the right choice, but it hasn't left your mind, I feel like. Okay, this card wanted to jump out. We have the Six of Wands energy here. Okay. Oops. This is flipping over. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay. What is the advice for pile 3? It just jumped out. Look at that. We have the Three of Swords energy coming next to the Nine of Swords. Yeah, definitely. This is more so about a relationship, this reading, I feel like. I feel fairly confident that this is talking about a breakup kind of scenario. Whoops. Too many cards turned over. If you're finding my reading for the first time, I do take jumper cards, but I do not take I do not take 2 or 3 cards that sometimes run out, just because I'm a clumsy shuffler. Anyways, let's see. What is the advice for pile 3's situation? What is the advice for pile 3? We have the Hanged Man energy. Okay. And bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. So a ton of court cards in this reading. The Six of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Now, did I mention the Six of Wands as a court card? Sorry if I did, but the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. Okay. And the major arcana being the Devil, the Hanged Man. I'm gonna just grab one more tarot deck because I want to clarify this Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this might be talking about a situation in which you had a breakup with someone, and there might be a third party that they have chosen, okay, above you or instead of you, and that is affecting you considerably, and kind of making you feel stuck in a cycle of, obsessive thinking, worrying about this connection, looking back on it. And it might feel to you like they have moved on from this connection quite quickly, but you seem to be stuck somewhere between feeling like you are doing a good job of moving on yourself and like finding a place of emotional balance, but there's a lot of trauma, I feel like, that you're still dealing with post breakup, especially during nighttime. Like this is like a bedtime, close to bedtime, stressing and obsessing kind of card. So that might be there. That might be the situation. But I'm gonna get another tarot deck, okay? And I'm gonna clarify these energies. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I got the Dream Mountain or Mountain Dream Tarot deck, and it's another photograph-based deck, which some people do not like, but I really enjoy them. Okay, this jumped out as clarification. We have the Ten of Swords, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so definitely feeling defeated, feeling done. This is ending. Ten of Swords is a kind of ending. That makes us feel like we have makes us feel defeated, like we are done. So the end of a relationship. And I usually, with these types of readings where I am getting spirit's advice on your situation, I leave the context wide open, and I do say that apply it to whichever area of life, and this might still be true for this reading as well, but I feel more so that for pile 3, it's talking about a relationship, and typically, a connection that has ended, okay? And that makes you feel like really defeated, exhausted. I feel like you might have really done a lot towards saving this connection while you could, okay? But I feel like when it came to making the choice between choosing you, and I'm getting there might be a presence of some other person with this Queen of Pentacles and Nine of Wands energy, I feel like they went for someone who brings in more excitement into their life almost, and whom you might view as, kind of immature, and maybe you even view their connection to this other person, which I feel like is represented by the Knight of Wands, as something that is going to be like a flash in the pan, okay? And with a Hanged Man, you might be waiting, you might be watching, and really hoping that they would realize that they are a bad match for this person, this new person in their life. That's the storyline I feel like that's coming out. I'm going to get one more card to clarify these energies of Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. What's the Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Wands energy? What's the Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Wands energy? We have the Two of Pentacles. Again, this is about choosing between two options. Could be more than two, but of course, like in this reading, one or the other. And a choice was made where you were left behind, and you're feeling the pain. I see the pain in the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords situation. With the Queen of Cups, this was the overall energy of the deck, which is how I look at the bottom of the deck card, in case you are watching my readings for the very first time. So with the overall energy being the Queen of Cups, I feel like for some of you, if not all of you, like I said, I feel like you're oscillating between these two states, okay? A state where you feel really stressed out, you feel the pain, like actively feel the pain, and have periods of obsessive thinking about this connection. This might also sort of indicate like a very unhealthy place, unfortunately, to be in, to wait for something, and kind of see it as a source of your happiness and joy, and kind of like the remedy, because, you know, this happened, the connection ended, and there was somebody else in the picture. Now with the Two of Pentacles energy, I feel like, you know, a third party stepped in or was already there or whatever, like they made this choice, where you had a lot to offer, and you did, but it was rejected, I feel like, for someone who brings in more excitement. Anyways, so you're oscillating, but more for some of you, the vibe that I'm picking up more is that you are, even though there are these dark periods of, you know, you ruminating about the breakup and feeling the pain and all that, I feel like you guys are learning some really important lessons about yourself, about the situation, and about love in general through your experience in this connection. And the Queen of Cups makes me feel like you're doing a really good job of assimilating these lessons within yourself. Okay, I'm gonna get more clarification on the Queen of Cups actually. What's that Queen of Cups energy? Because this is someone who's really maturing emotionally. Okay, so I feel like you might be noticing now the problems per se, or like the blockages, or your issues. Okay, this jumped out. Let's see what that is. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so moving ahead slowly, carefully, becoming more careful with your heart. Maybe you give too much in connections, in relationships, and you're realizing now there's a part of you that's really growing into this person who realizes that they need to hold back, they need to go slow, take things slow, and be careful. Like this Knight of Pentacles is very careful about the next steps, about where they invest their energy, what they put their energy into. Okay, this is generally like a really careful knight, a thoughtful knight, and you might be learning this very lesson through this connection. So you're still feeling the pain. I feel like, as I said, you're oscillating between these phases. It might be that, you know, you spend a lot of days feeling like the Queen of Cups and learning lessons through the Knight of Cups energy. And there are some days where you really are feeling the pain of this situation. Okay, I'm going to clarify the Six of Wands energy. What's the Six of Wands energy here? I feel like this is talking about you viewing them as, you know, them viewing this new connection as something like a reason to celebrate, or like an ego thing, you know, versus like they listened to their ego side or ego impulses more than they should listen, more than they should have paid attention to what you have to offer, and they did, like, really didn't see your beauty. Which if they did that, you know, F them. But I want to get clarification. Okay, this jumped out. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles energy. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles had this pentacle to offer, and your person, you know, the one that, you know, made the decision, they went ahead and offered it to someone, not your pentacle, but like not what you were offering, but they made this offer, or like new beginning with someone else, you know, in a way that feels unfair to you. And like I said, Six of Wands can be more about feeding the ego, like, versus your heart, and impulsive, oh, whoops, sorry about that, impulsive sort of energy to the Six of Wands could be that, or like a momentary feeling of victory and feeling good. Look at that, bottom of this deck we also have the Hangman, but we already have the Hangman. here. But yeah, so like I said, it could be somebody going after a thing to momentarily feel like a winner, but for the long term. And this could be this new someone that really stepped in to both of your lives and may have disrupted your connection. I feel like them making this choice, like picking someone else over you, might be something that surprised you, because like they are really not their type, I'm almost getting. Because with the Ace of Pentacles, the kind of beginnings that, you know, it talks about, it usually talks about us getting out of our molds, if that makes sense. The stuck and like where we comfort zones. Okay, that's the word. Getting out of our comfort zone and going somewhere new, or heading somewhere new. Okay, so this is like a difficult time period. Obviously, I can see for you, but I feel like you're learning a lot of lessons. Okay, through this, like especially with this Queen of Cups and this Knight of Pentacles, like the lesson being learned is, you know, be careful where you invest your heart and who you give your all to. And slowly those lessons are coming to light for you. I'm going to spend a little bit more time getting more on the lessons that you need to learn. So let's get into the oracle messages. This very small, thin deck is the Tarot. Basically it's just a major arcana deck. And for me, major arcana cards represent the cycles that we go through. Major cycles, major lessons that we need to learn through. In the context of whatever we are reading for. So I'm going to take a card from the Tarot and see see what lesson you're learning through this experience. And let me show you the box, because I showed it to Pile 1 and Pile 2. This is the box for the Tarot. It's an interesting concept, and the theme, the artwork is based on the horror and gore genre of books and TV. So yeah, so what major lesson are you learning through this connection? Oh, here we go, we have the Lovers again. It's about choices. Maybe, it's teaching you, not maybe, I feel like it's teaching you the choices that you make in love, and the kind of people that you choose, and why you attract the people that you attract. This could be, Spirit really, through this connection and through this pain, teaching you to take a look at, how you choose the people where you invest your emotional energy into, I feel like. Okay? So really paying attention to your thought process, your emotional process, when it comes to making that choice of where you are going to invest your energy, your emotional energy. Choices. Okay? Let's see what next. What is the lesson that Pile 3 people need to learn, or what's the advice that they need to hear at this time? What's the advice for Pile 3 people? It can be a tough lesson in and of itself, and I do empathize with you. We have resilient, bold, and sassy. Okay. And I can't pronounce this word. This is the Mystic Martian Oracle deck, but I can't pronounce that, so I will just leave it for you. Okay. Resilient, bold, and sassy. I feel like this could be to be honest, your perception or like something that you want to become, okay? You might, because this feels like a big contrast, energetic contrast with the Queen of Pentacles energy here. And through this experience, I feel like Spirit is teaching you how to channel your inner boldness. Maybe, like I said, I feel like a lot of you watching this reading, most of you, gave this relationship way more than it deserved. So, so through that kind of an experience, okay, Spirit is teaching you how to own your energy and direct it more towards you, so that you become your own person. And I feel like this is what you're transforming into. Not like the physical. I'm not saying that you'll suddenly start dressing this way, or like go get a haircut that looks like that, but like someone who's resilient, bold and sassy, because they are in ownership of their energy. We all need to go through this phase at some point, and especially more so after a breakup, and then, you know, that the next phase is stabilizing into the transformed self. But I feel like this phase where you will learn the lessons and direct your energy will be transformative for you. Could also mean like transforming your physical appearance, but not necessarily, of course. But more resilience in you is coming up versus, and just knowing. And I feel like speaking your mind, you know, speaking your mind more. The bold and sassy part, that's really coming through. Like, look at the image of this this Martian in this oracle card. It feels like she's going to tell you off if you bullshit her, right? So yeah, someone who knows better. And I feel like Spirit is saying that is what you need to do, or is needed at this time. Like, this lesson is needed, this transformation. This is what you're being led to. You were too nice, I feel like. Too nice to this person. Which is okay. I mean, there's nothing bad about being nice, and you were your authentic self. That is how you felt towards them. But sometimes, you know, you have to learn where to really invest your heart and where not to. It's an important lesson. Look at that, penguin, diamond light activation. Light activations are new energies coming your way to open and receive. What? Be open to receive and welcome them in. Diamond light activation. Sounds really fancy and like really amazing. Yeah, so like I said, new energies, and what that means is like new way of thinking, new way of feeling, new way of perceiving the world. Just you're transforming, okay? Transforming at the cellular level, almost like a deep DNA transformation that will change the way you feel in your being, like your state of being, and change the outer you too, I feel like. So, by the way, if you are like me and are interested in the names of the tarot and oracle decks used in this video, in your reading, I will have them listed below in the description box. What do you need to know at this time? Okay. Be bold and make the first move. Now, Cardinal Moon. Beautiful card, by the way. Now, the first move, this necessarily, it could be true for some of you that are, depending on where you are on your journey. If you are, you know, sort of stepping into a new connection and fear is holding you back, this could be for some of you. But I think you know, this is the kind of energy I feel like is coming in where you are more in charge of your vibe. Whereas in the past, I feel like you might have some trouble and challenge around that. But that's quickly shifting, where you are more in charge of the vibe. Oh, I was shuffling them upside down. Okay. The vibe that you put out, the energy that you put out, and in charge of your emotions. And you would just know, like, you know, you would lead your own path, I feel like. So you would be the one deciding, choosing, making better choices. You know, that's the vibe. I hope I made sense. I hope I don't sound like I was rambling. Really hope so. But somebody more capable of making the right choices for them. Whoops, sorry. I hit the overhead filming setup. So what lessons are you learning, or what advice would you need to hear at this time? I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Envy. So if you are comparing yourself, especially in this reading, like I said, I feel like, you know, there's a third party energy present. And if you are comparing yourself to them and sort of feeling envy, which is no shame to admit. But if you are in that comparison, you know, mindset, Spirit is saying at this time, don't do that, or don't engage with this energy. Understand that you are you are unique, and just because one person didn't value you doesn't make you any less than anybody else. Okay, so as I said, as I promised, I'm going to spend more time looking for advice. So this is the Moonology manifestation deck. And I want to get general advice for you as to what you should do to align better with what's coming up in your next phase of life, okay? Because I know that you guys are moving forward, and I know that you do want to too. But as you're dealing with this pain and the stress, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Swords, just get some advice on what you should be focusing on, maybe considering, looking at as you move through the next phase. Okay. Work through your feelings is the first advice, and this is kind of an important one. I feel like, you know, this comes with acceptance of where we are at this time. As I said, like, you know, you're dealing with pain, you're dealing with heartache, you're feeling stuck in the past maybe. And the thing that I wanted to say just a few seconds ago, that this type of a stuck feeling that happens for a reason. It keeps you there because it wants you to accept and learn through those feelings that are coming up. And Spirit is asking you to really work through them, examine them, you know, and know that you're being guided with your feelings. Like, through your feelings, you will be guided towards healing, because a feeling comes up, for example, envy. And then when we remedy it and resolve it within ourselves, that itself is clearing several blockages in our perception, in our thinking, in our emotions, in how we view ourselves, self-worth. So many layers of healing to that. So accept them, learn through them, and they'll guide you. They'll guide you through what needs to happen. Then the next one is assess the situation. Try to hold an objective view. We have the third eye chakra there. So try to hold a, what do you call it? A spiritual, almost a spiritual view, but like a higher perspective towards the situation, which could, for some people, mean, you know, forgiving all those who were involved in the situation and forgiving the pain that they caused you, understanding that they're just playing a role in your life, and not making not making this to mean anything about you, you know. It could be, like I said, this is an example, but your assessment would be personal, would be yours. But assessing the situation, which will come in time, as you give this time and distance, you'll be able to learn some lessons through that too. Let your fears dissolve. If you are fearful at this time and worrying about several things, which, the Nine of Swords energy. Look at that, the full moon in Cancer. Look at the light of the moon. This is Spirit saying, let your fears dissolve, release them. And again, in time, work on releasing work through your feelings, and in time, they will dissolve. Basically, there is nothing to fear, you're being told. Okay? Even if you feel triggered, even if you feel like you're stuck, even if you are experiencing this like negative emotion of stress and worry, gently let it dissolve in the light of your spirit. Actually, be proud of yourself. Like I said, some of you have really been working through all of this, and you have been doing a good job of bringing in that emotional balance with that Nine of Cups and Queen of Cups energy that I saw at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like, we should take a moment to applaud the progresses that we make, because sometimes we just look at the negatives and we feel, we have not come too far from where we started. But Spirit here is saying, take a moment to acknowledge how far you have come. I'm going to draw some cards from the Tea Leaf Oracle deck, which, if you haven't seen on my channel or other channels on YouTube, it's a really thick round deck. Like, look. So it's kind of impossible to shuffle. They provide this kind of bag with it, and the idea is to put your hand in the bag and draw the cards. So I'll do it for you guys and get messages here. We have broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Broken bridge could also mean like a broken connection, things not going the way they are. And this is also kind of reminding me of the Tower energy, which, when the Tower energy comes through in our lives, that's divine intervention coming in, breaking something and taking it away, because it is making room for something new to come in. Okay, it's not almost always with the Tower, the breakdown that happens, it can be quite hard to deal with, but this is what you need to understand, that this is Spirit's way of saying, like, room is being built for something else, and you will build your bridge to somewhere else. That's why this bridge was so drastically broken. Okay. Then we have angels, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. I feel like your spirit guides are saying, like for some of you at least, that through this difficult time, I completely believe in the concept of angel, which to me are, souls that are more evolved than us. Could also be someone from your spiritual family, which is not like the same as physical family, but connections that you have had in the past and past lives. People who have crossed over, and some souls, they do this job, quote unquote job, of guiding us to higher realms. So this is a clear message that for people who are watching Pile 3 readings, maybe you work with angels already. Okay. One more card. Flowers, beautiful message, happiness. So have faith, this will turn into a happy situation. You will find your happiness. What a reassuring message, what a beautiful message there. You will receive a gift. There you go. Might be maybe it already happened for some of you, or might be relevant for some of you watching this. You're about to receive a gift that will hold some meaning and help you through this healing journey, I feel like. Tiger, doing something risky, taking chances. I feel like the tiger, the bold, sassy energy, this is what you're transforming into, I feel like, somebody more in charge, somebody more assertive, more bold, through learning your lessons through this pain that you have endured. Okay, so I really hope that this reading helped and resonated. I'm going to leave it here. And if it did, please let me know in the comments below how this related to your personal story. I would love to hear. You can either write it in the comments or, find my email in the description box. And if this reading helped and the messages resonated, please consider giving this video a like and also subscribe for future readings to come. And yeah, take care of yourselves, Part 3. See you in my next one. Bye.